Oh, have mercy. Your brother from the gutter, Slick Daddy, back behind the wood. It's the open bar. Better late than never here on a Wednesday, only 6 days out from the election. And the Bills victorious with a kick-ass, kick-booty victory the other day over the Seattle Seahawks. You got to love how the Bills came out very aggressive right off the bat, started slinging the ball around. The first quarter, you had those 90-yard drives. They finally did a lot of stuff that their critics have been yammering for. They moved Kincaid around. They did some bunch formations. They did a lot of motion. They did some screens. They basically did the plays that they always run, but they gave them a different look is what they did. The attack was super balanced as well. You had 34 passes, 34 runs. Josh Allen seems to be playing more within the system. You know, he's not trying to be Superman on every fucking play. They seem more in sync, I guess you could say. And Cook, speaking of Cook, we talked about 34 runs, 34 passes. He had 5.8 yards a carry, a clip. He was averaging. And how about the Keon Coleman kid? You got to love Keon Coleman. I mean, the kid is getting better and better every week. That one-handed snag he had in the end zone on the fade pattern, and also the catch, the big catch he had down the seam as well. I mean, he is going to be something else. And, I mean, we're just scratching the surface with him. So I'm real happy about the Bills' victory. Yes, I am. It was, without a doubt, easily the most complete all-around game that they played this year. We're talking offense, defense, special teams. Just a great game. And, of course, it is Squish the Fish just 3 or 4 days from now. And we'll be previewing that game on the next Slickcast prior to Sunday's game. It could drop Saturday. It could drop Friday. You never know with me, because I am an out-to-lunch individual.
Medication time. Medication time.
All right, let's get right to the swastika in the room that no one's talking about. Actually, that everybody's talking about. It looks like with all the crazy shit, the stupid shit Trump has said, something has finally stuck, and it's a real, genuine dumpster fire. That's right. Of course, we're talking about Trump's Nazi hootenanny that he had in Madison Square Garden the other night. Comic Tony Hinchcliffe made a stupid joke that could cost Trump the election when he said that Puerto Rico was a floating island of garbage. And there were also racist jokes about Latinos in general and blacks as well. Now, what maybe these rocket scientists didn't know in the Trump clan is that there are 470,000, 500,000 people of Puerto Rican descent in a very important swing state in this election, and that happens to be Pennsylvania. 2 more swing states as well have a pretty big Puerto Rican population. That includes North Carolina and Georgia, which is in play, especially Georgia. Also, 5% of Florida population are Puerto Rican as well. What did Trump say? What did the genius say about this rally? He said it was a real, genuine love fest. That's what he said. And that he was proud to be involved. He also said he didn't hear the joke. I mean, look, when they have these people, they vet them. And everything was on the teleprompter. So they saw everything that was going to be said. And we know that for a fact because they took out the C word. They actually, Trump's people took out the C word. They were going to use that when talking about Kamala Harris. So we know that they knew what this Tony Hinchcliffe character was going to say before he said it. And a lot of people are running from this, of course, except for J.D. Vance. He's the one that came out and said, hey, we all got to get over this. We're too sensitive. We got to get over this. I mean, I didn't hear it, he said, but we got to get over this. Nobody heard anything. I mean, nobody heard nothing. Very conveniently, they all had earmuffs on, and they didn't hear any of this stuff. And they didn't know any of this stuff was going to be said, right? Bullhorky. And is it a coincidence that the Trump Fascist Festival was held where the American Nazi rally was held back in Madison Square Garden, 1939, which is a blight, of course, on this historic venue where, of course, Muhammad Ali fought. And, many great sporting events took place at Madison Square Garden. Frank Sinatra's a comeback concert, all of Billy Joel's concerts. And now you have another blight on Madison Square Garden, the Trump Nazi hootenanny of 2024.
You're part of a league of morons.
And this was a real jerk parade from the word go. With a cast of morons, you had Rudy Giuliani, Dr. Phil, Hulk Hogan, Elon Musk, RFK Jr., Don Jr., and Tucker Carlson, who giggles like a fucking 12-year-old girl. I mean, who laughs like Tucker Carlson? And not to be outdone, head SS douche nozzle Stephen Miller, who got up and said that America is for Americans only, echoing Hitler's words, Germany is for Germans only. So, yeah, give it up. Give it up for the big Trump Nazi hootenanny at Madison Square Garden. I certainly hope this cost him the election. Check this out. 5 Puerto Rican celebrities came out for Harris, and between the 5 of them, they have over 300 million followers.
That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, no kidding. And Jeff Bezos and the Washington Post have now lost over 250,000, closing in on 300,000 subscriptions for spying out. In case you didn't hear the story, we talked about it last time. They already had an endorsement written. The editors of the paper, the opinion writers for Kamala Harris, and Bezos ixnated, said, no, you can't do that. We don't want to endorse anybody. And, the Post has always been a ballsy paper. I mean, they did the Pentagon Papers, Woodward and Bernstein, the whole Watergate thing. And so for them to spine out, and this is Bezos just playing it safe because he doesn't want to piss off 50-50 chance that Trump wins, that Trump gets into office. But it is a very cowardly move by the Washington Post. Now, does he give a fuck if the Washington Post loses 250,000? Maybe a little bit, but it's not where he makes his money from Amazon. The Washington Post doesn't probably make him that much money. He's just some rich guy that wants to own a newspaper. So, unfortunately, that's the way it goes if you got money. All right, I'm out of here. History in the archives, Vapor. I will catch you within the next couple of days. Of course, don't forget we are streaming all over the place. That's right. We're like a bad rash. You can't get rid of us. Streaming on Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, YouTube. Did I mention YouTube? And, of course, our home is at Podbean. And just Google Slick's Open Bar and you'll find us, or go to slicktom.com. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And, of course, share this with your fellow Slick Daddy listeners. Remain calm, circle the wagons, go Bills, live fast, die old, weed, whiskey, and Warren Zevon. Peace out.
Hail to the king, baby.